Captain Anna Reed stared out the viewport of Space Station Gamma as the long-lost Earth vessel Horizon drifted into view. The ship had vanished without a trace 8 years ago during a routine mining expedition to the Kuiper Belt. Now it had suddenly reappeared at the edge of Earth's solar system, broadcasting on all frequencies with a simple message. "We've returned. We bring gifts." "I don't like this, Director," Anna said, turning to face Director Jack Porter. "Ship disappears for 8 years and returns with gifts? Sounds like the start of a bad horror movie." Porter's weathered face remained impassive. "That's why we're sending you to investigate. Take a team, secure the vessel, and figure out what happened. If those gifts are weapons technology, Earth needs it. The Centauri Coalition is breathing down our necks." The Centauri Coalition had been expanding aggressively, claiming resource-rich systems that humanity had its eyes on. Earth's technology was lagging behind, and tensions were mounting. "And the original crew?" Anna asked. 12 crew members. If they're alive, debrief them. Find out where they've been and what they've seen. 24 hours later, Anna led a team of 6 specialists aboard a military shuttle approaching the horizon. The vessel showed no obvious signs of damage, but was covered with an unusual lattice of silvery material that hadn't been part of its original design. "Radiation levels normal," reported Tom Wilson, the team's science officer. "But I'm picking up energy signatures I've never seen before." "Life signs?" Anna asked. "Affirmative. 12 human signatures, consistent with the original crew." "But—" Tom frowned at his scanner. "There's something odd about the readings." Their shuttle docked with the horizon. As the airlock cycled, Anna's hand rested on her sidearm. The inner docker slid open to reveal a man in a standard Earth Fleet uniform. Anna recognized him immediately from the mission files. Captain David Miller, commander of the Horizon. "Captain Reed," Miller said, smiling broadly. "Welcome aboard. We've been expecting you." Miller looked exactly as he had in his personnel file, not a day older, despite 8 years passing. His uniform was pristine. "Captain Miller," Anna replied, cautiously. "You've been missing for 8 years. Earth Command is eager to know what happened." Miller's smile never faltered. "Of course. We have quite a story to tell, and technology to share that will change humanity's future forever." He gestured down the corridor. "Please, follow me." Anna signaled her team to stay alert as they followed Miller through the ship. The interior had been dramatically altered. The walls pulsed with subtle light, and what appeared to be circuitry was embedded in every surface, glowing with a soft, blue luminescence. "What happened to the ship?" Anna asked. "Improvements," Miller replied. "Gifts from our friends." "What friends?" Miller stopped at a doorway that dilated open. Technology Earth hadn't mastered. "It's easier if I show you." The room beyond was a command center unlike anything Anna had seen. Holographic displays hovered in midair without projectors. Control interfaces responded to the slightest gesture. "We encountered them in the void between stars," Miller explained. "They called themselves the Guides. They've been watching humanity for centuries, waiting until we ventured far enough from home." "Are they here?" Anna's hand tightened on her weapon, not physically, but their knowledge is. Miller tapped his temple. "They gave us understanding beyond human comprehension, and now we're home to share it." Anna noticed something troubling. All of Miller's crew moved with the same fluid precision, their expressions serene, their eyes unnaturally bright. "What exactly did these guides do to you, Captain?" she asked. Miller's smile widened. "They didn't change us. They elevated us, and now we've returned to elevate all of humanity." Anna maintained a professional demeanor, but internally, alarm bells were ringing. The crew of the Horizon didn't just seem unchanged by 8 years in deep space. They seemed enhanced. Their movements were too precise, their reactions too measured. "Before we discuss this elevation, I need to complete my inspection and report back to Earth Command," Anna said firmly. "Of course," Miller agreed. "Tom, would you like to examine our propulsion system? It now operates on principles your physicists have only theorized about." Anna frowned. "How do you know my science officer's name? We haven't been introduced." Miller paused, then smiled again. "An educated guess. Your insignia marks him as Science Division." Tom stepped forward, curiosity overriding caution. What kind of propulsion? We call it fold space drive. It doesn't move through space. It folds space itself, bringing destination to vessel rather than vessel to destination. That's impossible, Tom said. The energy requirements alone would exceed the output of your largest fusion reactors by several orders of magnitude, Miller finished. Yes. The guides showed us how to harness vacuum energy. Limitless power from the fabric of spacetime itself. Anna watched as her science officer's skepticism dissolved into fascination. Too quickly, she thought. I'd like to meet one of these guides, she said. That's not possible, said a woman who approached from behind Miller. Anna recognized her as Dr. Lisa Reyes, the Horizon's medical officer. Their physical forms cannot survive in our atmospheric conditions, but they've given us the means to communicate with them. Reyes led them to the ship's medical bay, now transformed into something resembling a cross between a laboratory and a meditation room. At its center sat a crystalline structure that pulsed with internal light. This is a thought bridge, Reyes explained. It allows direct mind-to-mind contact with the guides. Anna's security chief, Marcus Lee, stepped forward. Captain, I strongly advise against any direct neural interface with unknown technology. Wise caution, Miller said. But unnecessary. The bridge merely translates thought patterns. There's no direct neural connection. He turned to Anna. Would you like a demonstration? Before Anna could respond, Tom spoke up. I volunteer, Captain. Negative, Anna said sharply. No one on my team interacts with this technology until we've conducted proper analysis. As you wish, Miller said. In the meantime, perhaps you'd like to see the other improvements? The medical technology alone could eliminate disease on Earth within a generation. Anna agreed, but instructed Marcus to stay in the medical bay and record everything. As Miller led them through the ship, each section revealed technology centuries beyond Earth's capabilities. Matter fabricators that could create complex objects from raw elements, energy fields that defied known physics, biological enhancements that promised near immortality. The guides taught us that the universe isn't hostile, Miller explained as they walked. It's abundant with resources and knowledge. The only limitation is our understanding. And what do these guides want in return? Anna asked. They seek only to elevate sentient species. They believe diversity of thought is the universe's greatest resource. Altruistic aliens? Forgive my skepticism. Miller's expression remained serene. The guides taught us that advanced civilizations naturally evolve beyond conflict once they understand the true nature of existence. They've helped thousands of species reach their potential. And all 12 of your crew agreed to these modifications? Enhancements, Miller corrected. And yes, once they understood what was being offered, everyone consented. Anna noticed her team members becoming increasingly enthralled with each new technological marvel. Even her typically stoic engineer, Diane Adams, was wide-eyed at the sight of the Fold Space Drive Core, a sphere of what appeared to be contained lightning, humming with power no human had ever harnessed. Beautiful, isn't it? Miller said, noticing her gaze. Earth's energy crisis, solved forever. No more wars over resources, no more environmental damage from archaic power generation. Captain Reed, Marcus's voice came through her communicator, tight with urgency. You need to see this. Now. Anna excused herself and hurried back to the medical bay, where Marcus stood holding a scanner toward the crystal structure. What is it? She asked. Marcus showed her the readout. That thing is broadcasting continuously, directly into our brains. Subtle signals targeting the limbic system. It's affecting our emotional responses, making us more receptive, less critical. Anna's blood ran cold. Get the team back to the shuttle, now. Captain Miller, Anna said as she returned to the engineering section, her voice carefully controlled. I appreciate the tour, but we need to return to our shuttle for scheduled communication with Earth Command. Miller's smile didn't reach his eyes. Of course. Though I had hoped to show you the navigation array. It maps quantum pathways through the universe that could take humanity to the stars in ways your fastest ships never could. Another time, perhaps, Anna said, signaling her team. To her alarm, Tom and Diane seemed reluctant to leave. Just another hour, Captain, Tom pleaded. The scientific discoveries here, they're revolutionary. That's an order, Officer Wilson, Anna snapped. Marcus moved to Tom's side, ready to escort him if necessary. As they made their way back toward the docking bay, Miller and 3 of his crew followed at a respectful distance. Anna noticed how they moved in perfect synchronization, their footfalls making identical sounds on the deck plating. "You're afraid," Miller observed. "There's no need to be. We're still human, just improved." "Improved how, exactly?" Anna asked, keeping her team moving. "Enhanced cellular regeneration, optimized neural pathways, direct access to the guide's knowledge repository. We age more slowly, think more clearly, and understand truths about the universe that humanity has sought for millennia." They reached the airlock. Anna positioned herself between her team and Miller's crew. "And you think Earth will just accept this technology without question, without understanding the cost?" "There is no cost," Miller insisted. "Only transformation." "There's always a cost," Anna countered. "Especially when something seems too good to be true." Miller's expression hardened slightly, the first genuine emotion Anna had seen from him. "The guides foresaw your reluctance. Humanity's fear of the unknown is its greatest limitation." "It's also our greatest survival mechanism," Anna replied, as her team entered the airlock. "Tell your guides we'll need more than fancy light shows and promises to trust them." As the outer door began to close, Miller called out, "You already trust them more than you realize, Captain Reed. The signal began the moment you docked." The shuttle undocked from the horizon and moved to a safe distance. Anna ordered immediate scans of the entire vessel and crew for any anomalies. "I'm detecting subtle changes in our brain chemistry," Marcus reported, studying the medical scanner. "Elevated dopamine and serotonin levels. Effects seem temporary, already diminishing with distance." "Captain," Tom said suddenly, his voice strained. I need to go back. The knowledge they have, Earth needs it." "That's not you talking, Tom," Anna said firmly. "It's whatever influence they were exerting." "No, you don't understand what I saw," Tom insisted, rising from his seat. "Their equations solve problems we've struggled with for centuries. The unified field theory, gravity manipulation, consciousness transfer." "Officer Wilson, stand down," Anna ordered, but Tom lunged for the controls. Marcus intercepted him, and a brief struggle ensued before Tom collapsed, sedated by Diane's quick action with a medical injector. "Set course for Space Station Gamma, maximum speed," Anna ordered, "and initiate full quarantine protocols." As they accelerated away, Anna watched the horizon through the view screen. The lattice pattern covering its hull began to glow, and energy readings spiked dramatically. "They're powering up something," Diane reported. "Energy signature unlike anything in our database." "Evasive maneuvers," Anna commanded. But before her pilot could respond, a beam of azure light enveloped their shuttle. Anna braced for destruction, but nothing happened. No alarms, no damage. "Status report," she demanded. "All systems normal," the pilot reported, confused. "But, Captain, we're receiving a transmission. From Earth. Put it through." Director Porter's face appeared on the screen, his expression grim. "Captain Reed, return to the horizon immediately." Anna stared in disbelief. "Sir, the crew has been compromised by unknown alien influence. We need to establish quarantine, and—" "That's an order, Captain," Porter interrupted. "The Horizon has already transmitted their technological database to Earth. It's beyond extraordinary. The scientific community is calling it the greatest discovery in human history." Anna felt a chill run down her spine. "Sir, with respect, something isn't right. This technology comes with strings attached. The crew has been altered in ways we don't understand. Your concerns are noted, Captain, but the decision has been made. Humanity needs this technology to survive. The Centauri Coalition would overrun us within a decade without it." As Porter spoke, Anna noticed something subtle, the same unnatural brightness in his eyes that she'd seen in Miller's. The transmission had already reached Earth. 3 weeks later, Anna stood at the viewport in her quarters aboard Space Station Gamma, watching Earth below. Blue oceans, swirling clouds. It looked the same, but she knew it wasn't. Not anymore. A chime announced a visitor. "Enter," she called. Marcus stepped inside, his face drawn. "It's happening faster than we predicted. 90% of major cities now have guide centers established. The technology is spreading exponentially. After their forced return to the horizon, Anna and her team had been separated and debriefed extensively. Only through Marcus's military connections had they reconnected afterward. Now they were among the few still resisting the alien influence. "What about the test results?" Anna asked. Marcus handed her a data tablet. "The guide technology emits a quantum-level signal that reconfigures neural pathways. It doesn't just change how people think, it changes who they are. They're still human biologically, but their priorities and perceptions are being rewritten." Anna scrolled through the findings. "And most people are volunteering for this?" "The benefits are real," Marcus admitted grudgingly. "Disease cured, lifespans doubled, intelligence enhanced. People see immediate improvements and want more. While ignoring the loss of what makes them individuals," Anna added bitterly. A message flashed on her console. Director Porter requesting her presence in the command center. When she arrived, Porter was speaking with Captain Miller via holographic projection. "Captain Reed," Porter greeted her with unnatural warmth. "The Horizon will be departing on a diplomatic mission to Centauri, space. We'd like you to join the expedition as second in command." Anna maintained her composure. "Sir, I believe my skills are better utilized here." "It wasn't a request, Captain," Porter said, his smile never wavering. "Your experience with first contact, situations makes you invaluable to this mission." Anna understood the real reason. She was dangerous to them here. One of the few military officers who hadn't embraced the guide technology. Better to have her isolated on a deep space mission. "When do we depart?" she asked, already formulating plans. "Tomorrow," Miller's hologram answered. "My crew is eager to share the guide's gifts with our neighbors." Later, in a shielded maintenance shaft where they believed they could speak freely, Anna met with Marcus and the remnants of her loyal team. "They're sending me to Centauri space with Miller," she told them. "They want me off Earth while they complete whatever this is." "It's worse than we thought," Diane said, showing them new data on her tablet. "I've analyzed the quantum signature of the guide technology. It's not just changing people, it's connecting them, creating a network." "A hive mind?" Marcus asked. "Not exactly. Individuals retain their personality, but their goals align perfectly with the collective. No conflicts, no disagreements on important matters. Perfect harmony through perfect control," Anna said. "And they're expanding to other star systems now." Tom, who had recovered from his initial exposure and now wore a neural dampener to block the guide influence, spoke up. "The technology itself is incredible. I've been studying the data they've released publicly. If we could separate it from the neural reconfiguration aspect—" "Can we?" Anna asked. Tom hesitated. "Maybe. The underlying principles are sound science, just centuries ahead of us. If we had more time." "Time is the one thing we don't have," Anna said. "I leave tomorrow, and once the Horizon reaches Centauri space, billions more will be exposed to this influence. You have to sabotage the mission," Marcus said quietly. The words hung in the air between them. Sabotage meant treason. It meant potentially sacrificing themselves. But as Anna looked at each of their faces, she saw determination reflected back. "We're talking about the independence of human thought," Anna said. "If that's not worth fighting for, nothing is." They spent the next hours formulating a desperate plan. Diane had identified a potential vulnerability in the guide technology. Its quantum entanglement properties might be disrupted by a specific radiation pattern. "It's theoretical," she admitted. "But if it works, it could break the network connection. Temporarily. Give people back their autonomy long enough to question what's happening." "I'll need equipment," Anna said. "Already arranged," Marcus replied. "We have supporters, people whose neural structures naturally resist the guide influence. They're scattered but organized." As dawn broke over the space station, Anna looked once more at Earth below, wondering if she would ever see it again. Wondering if she could save humanity from a gift that might ultimately erase what made them human. "Humanity, fuck yeah," she whispered to herself. An old spacer's rallying cry. Then she squared her shoulders and went to board the Horizon. The Horizon slipped through the void between stars, its fold-space drive bending reality in ways that still made Anna's head ache when she thought about it too much. 2 weeks into the journey to Centauri space, she had carefully cultivated a facade of grudging acceptance that had lowered Miller's guard. "The transition is always difficult for some," Miller had told her during their daily briefing. "But I sense you're beginning to understand the bigger picture." Anna had nodded. "The technology is impressive. I can't deny the benefits." Now, alone in her quarters, she worked on the device Diane had designed, a quantum resonance disruptor. That, in theory, could sever the connection between the guide technology and its human hosts. The components had been smuggled aboard disguised as standard medical equipment. A soft chime indicated someone at her door. Anna quickly concealed the device beneath her bunk. "Enter," she called. Lisa Reyes, the Horizon's modified medical officer, stepped inside. "Captain Reed, I've been monitoring your neural patterns. You're not sleeping well." "Just adjusting to deep space again," Anna replied casually. "It's been a while." Reyes smiled that too-perfect smile. "I can provide something to help. The guides have shown us compounds that promote rest without side effects." "Thank you, but I prefer to adjust naturally." Reyes tilted her head slightly. "Your reluctance to accept our help continues to be puzzling. Even your former science officer has embraced the enhancements." She referred to Tom, who had supposedly accepted guide technology after their return to Earth. Though Anna knew he was actually working with their resistance cell, his apparent conversion a carefully maintained deception. "Old habits," Anna said with a shrug. "I've spent my career being cautious around things I don't fully understand." "Understanding comes with experience," Reyes replied. "Perhaps you'd like to try the thought bridge now. Many find it resolves their doubts instantly." "Perhaps soon." Anna deflected, knowing the bridge was the primary method of neural reconfiguration. After Reyes left, Anna continued her work. According to the schematics Tom had secretly provided, the ship's communications array would be the ideal point to deploy the disruptor. Its quantum entanglement properties would amplify the effect throughout the vessel and, potentially back, to Earth through the guide network. 3 days later, Anna had her opportunity. An unusual energy fluctuation in the fold space drive required all senior staff, including Miller, to focus on stabilization protocols. Anna, assigned to monitor communications during the procedure, was alone in the array control room. Working quickly, she installed the disruptor device inside the primary signal processor and initiated its programming sequence. It would remain dormant until activated by a specific code. "What exactly are you doing, Captain Reed?" Anna froze, then turned to find Miller standing in the doorway, his expression unchanged but his eyes hard. "Routine diagnostic," she lied smoothly. "I noticed some signal degradation during my shift. A diagnostic that required the removal of 3 security panels?" Miller stepped further into the room. "We've been monitoring you since you came aboard. Your neural patterns show resistance to alignment, unusual but not unprecedented. We hoped you would come around naturally." Anna abandoned the pretense. "You're changing humanity without consent, removing the very qualities that make us who we are, our conflicts, our disagreements, our individual perspectives." "We're improving humanity," Miller countered. "War, disease, environmental collapse, all solved. What rational person would reject that?" "A person who believes that struggle and challenge define us," Anna said. "That solutions mean nothing if we lose ourselves finding them." Miller sighed, the sound practiced, artificial. The guides anticipated this response from a small percentage of humans. It's why they provided us with more direct methods of integration for those who cannot achieve it themselves. 4 more crew members appeared behind Miller, advancing into the room with the same fluid, synchronized movements. Anna backed away, reaching for her sidearm, only to find it missing from its holster. "Looking for this?" Miller held up her weapon. "Violence is unnecessary, Anna. The integration process is painless." "What makes you think I'm alone?" Anna challenged. Miller smiled. "Because we are connected to every enhanced human. We would know of any organized resistance." Anna smiled back. "Not if some of your enhanced humans aren't as aligned as you think." Confusion flickered across Miller's face. Genuine emotion breaking through the serene mask, just as the lights flickered and emergency alarms began to blare. "Now, Tom," Anna shouted into her communicator. The disruptor activated with a high-pitched whine, sending invisible quantum ripples through the ship's systems. Miller and his crew stumbled, clutching their heads in sudden pain. Throughout the ship, the modified crew members reacted similarly. Their perfect synchronization shattered as the guide network connection was temporarily severed. Anna dove for her weapon, wrenched it from Miller's weakened grip, and ran for the engineering section where Tom was enacting the second phase of their plan, overloading the fold space drive to create a massive quantum disruption wave that would propagate back to Earth through the entangled particles of the guide technology. As Anna raced through corridors, she passed crew members in various states of confusion or distress. Some seemed to be fighting internal battles, expressions shifting between serenity and horror as their original personalities reasserted themselves against the guide programming. She reached engineering to find Tom working frantically at the drive. Controls, his face streaked with sweat. "How long will the disruptor effect last?" she demanded. "Minutes at most," he replied without looking up. "They'll reconfigure quickly. Did you place the secondary devices?" "Yes. On my signal, they'll amplify the wave through every system on the ship." Tom nodded. "This will likely destroy the horizon, you know. The energy release will be catastrophic." "Better the ship than humanity's independence," Anna said grimly. "Are the escape pods ready?" "Prepped and programmed with coordinates to the resistance outpost in the Kuiper Belt. Marcus has people waiting there." As the ship shuddered around them, and the fold space drive began to emit an ominous harmonic frequency, Anna allowed herself one moment of doubt. Was she destroying humanity's greatest advancement, or saving its soul? The moment passed. She activated her communicator. "All Resistance personnel, proceed to escape pods immediately. Operation Firewall is go." The quantum disruption wave expanded from the horizon at faster-than-light speeds, carried by the entangled particles embedded in guide technology across human space. As Anna's escape pod hurtled away from the disintegrating vessel, she watched the massive energy release through the small viewport. A sphere of blue-white light that seemed to ripple through dimensions beyond normal space. "Did it work?" she asked Tom, who was monitoring a hastily assembled sensor array. "The wave is propagating along the quantum network," he confirmed. "If Diane's calculations are correct, it should reach Earth within hours, disrupting the guide, influence long enough for people to regain their autonomy. And if she's wrong?" Tom didn't answer, focusing instead on stabilizing their trajectory toward the hidden resistance base. 3 days later, their pod docked with what appeared to be an ordinary asteroid in the Kuiper Belt. Inside, however, was an elaborate facility, one of several established by those naturally resistant to guide influence. Marcus greeted them in the airlock. "You're alive," he said with obvious relief. "When we lost contact after the explosion." "The fold space drive overload was more powerful than we anticipated," Anna explained. "Communications were the first systems to go." "Was it worth it?" Marcus asked as he led them deeper into the facility. "That depends," Anna replied. "What's happening on Earth?" The command center of the resistance base was a hive of activity. Diane stood at a central console, directing operations with the help of dozens of analysts. "The disruption worked," she announced when she saw Anna. "Reports are coming in from everywhere. The guide network collapsed for nearly 6 hours. It was enough." People started questioning, remembering who they were before. "And the guide technology?" Tom asked. "Still functional, but no longer connected to the central network. Without that constant reinforcement, the neural reconfiguration is breaking down in most people." Diane brought up a holographic display showing major Earth cities. "There's confusion, some unrest, but also something remarkable happening." The display showed crowds gathering in cities worldwide, not in violence, but in what appeared to be public forums of discussion. "They're debating what to do with the technology," Marcus explained. "Now that they can think for themselves again, people are choosing which advancements to keep and which to reject. It's messy, disorganized, contradictory, human," Anna finished with satisfaction. "The guide technology itself is revolutionary," Tom said. "Without the control element, it could still transform our civilization. Medical advances, energy production, space travel, all of it beneficial if used properly." "That's the key difference," Diane added. "Choice rather than compulsion. Diversity of thought rather than artificial consensus." A communications officer approached urgently. We're receiving a transmission from Earth. It's Director Porter. Put it through, Anna ordered, tensing. Porter's face appeared on the main screen. He looked exhausted, the unnatural serenity gone from his expression. Captain Reed, he began formally, the Joint Chiefs have instructed me to inform you that your actions, while technically constituting mutiny, have been reclassified as necessary intervention under extraordinary circumstances. Anna exchanged surprised glances with her team. Furthermore, Porter continued, Earth Command requests your immediate return to assist with the transition period. Your experience with both the guide technology and resistance to it makes you uniquely qualified. Is this a trap? Marcus whispered. Porter's expression softened slightly. It's not a trap, Captain. I remember everything I did under their influence. I remember ordering your team separated, attempting to silence your concerns. I cannot apologize enough for those actions, but I can offer you the chance to help humanity navigate this unprecedented situation. Anna studied his eyes, normal now, tired and human. What about the guides themselves? Have they responded to the disruption? No direct communication, Porter replied. But we've detected unusual energy signatures at the edge of our solar system. Something's out there, watching. And the Centauri Coalition? That's part of why we need you back. With the fold space technology now being adapted for independent use, we need experienced officers to establish proper protocols before we make official contact. After the transmission ended, Anna stood in silence for a long moment, weighing their options. It could still be a trick, Marcus cautioned. I don't think so, Tom said. The quantum disruption should have permanently broken the original guide control patterns. They'd need to start from scratch, and now we know what to look for. Besides, Diane added, if what Porter says is true, Earth needs people who understand what happened, who can help prevent it from happening again. Anna made her decision. Humanity has its flaws. We're stubborn, argumentative, sometimes short-sighted. But those qualities are also our strengths. We solve problems differently, approach challenges from unique angles, create innovations through disagreement and collaboration. She looked around at her team, people who had risked everything to preserve those qualities. The guides offered us advancement in exchange for subtle conformity. We've rejected that bargain. Now we need to prove we made the right choice by using what we've learned responsibly, advancing on our own terms. As preparations began for their return journey, Anna found herself drawn to the base's observatory. The stars looked the same as they always had, but humanity's place among them had changed forever. Advanced technology, once the domain of science fiction, was now reality. Interstellar travel, unlimited energy, medical miracles, all within reach. And somewhere out there, the guides were watching, perhaps planning their next approach. Anna wondered what they truly wanted. Why they sought to reshape other species in their image. Perhaps they were simply lonely, having lost the diversity of thought that made existence rich and meaningful. Whatever their reasons, humanity had proven itself resilient once again. Not through superior technology or overwhelming force, but through the stubborn insistence on remaining distinctly, imperfectly human. Humanity. Fuck yeah, Anna whispered to the stars, allowing herself a rare smile. 1 year later, Anna stood on the observation deck of the newly commissioned Earth vessel Defiance, watching as the Fold space drive charged for its maiden voyage. The ship represented humanity's new approach to guide technology, adapted, modified, and implemented with safeguards against external control. Pre-jump checks complete, Captain, reported First Officer Marcus Lee from his station. All systems nominal. Very good, Anna replied. Navigator, confirm coordinates for Proxima Centauri. Coordinates locked and verified, the navigator responded. Jump calculations complete. Anna took a moment to appreciate the irony. Humanity's first official diplomatic mission to Centauri space aboard a vessel using modified alien technology, commanded by the officer who had once destroyed that same technology's control network. History had strange symmetries. Communications. Send final status report to Earth Command. Inform them we will re-establish contact upon arrival at Proxima. The past year had been tumultuous, but ultimately productive. The abrupt disconnection from guide influence had left many in positions of power disoriented, struggling to reconcile their actions while under alien control with their restored personal values. Some had resigned in shame, Others had dedicated themselves to establishing new protocols for integrating the revolutionary technology safely. Anna had been promoted and given command of this crucial mission, establishing formal relations with the Centauri Coalition now that humanity possessed technology approaching their level. The balance of power had shifted dramatically. "Drive charged to optimal capacity," reported Tom Wilson, now her chief science officer. "Ready when you are, Captain." "Thank you, Tom. Initiate jump sequence." The Defiance shuddered slightly as space itself folded around them. Stars stretched and compressed in impossible geometries visible through the viewports. Then, in an instant, they were there, orbiting a world 40 trillion kilometers from Earth. "Jump successful," Tom announced. "All systems functioning within parameters. Position confirmed. Proxima Centauri orbit." "Incredible," Anna murmured. The journey that would have taken years with conventional propulsion had happened in moments. "Captain," the communications officer called urgently. "We're receiving a transmission from the Centauri Defense Fleet. They're requesting verification of our identity. They seem confused by our arrival method." "Open a channel," Anna ordered, straightening her uniform. The view screen activated to reveal a stern-faced Centauri commander. "Earth vessel," the alien said in slightly accented English. "Your method of arrival matches no known Earth capability. Explain yourselves immediately." "Commander, I am Captain Anna Reed of the Earth diplomatic vessel Defiance. We come in peace, using technology recently acquired and adapted by Earth. We request permission to send a diplomatic delegation to discuss new relations between our peoples." The commander's compound eyes widened slightly, the Centauri equivalent of shock. "Acquired from where?" "That's part of what we wish to discuss," Anna replied carefully. "Earth has encountered an advanced species calling themselves the Guides. We have reason to believe they may have approached other civilizations as well." A long silence followed before the commander responded. "Stand by for docking coordinates. Our premier wishes to speak with you immediately." Hours later, Anna sat, across from Premier Vox of the Centauri Coalition, in an ornate conference room on their orbital station. The insectoid leader's mandibles clicked thoughtfully as Anna concluded her briefing on humanity's encounter with the Guides. "So you rejected their offer of advancement under control," the premier summarized. "Most interesting. Our scientists believed humans incapable of such philosophical resistance." "We're full of surprises," Anna replied diplomatically. "Indeed." The premier's multifaceted eyes studied her intently. 50 of our cycles ago, approximately 30 of your years, we, too, were approached by these Guides. They offered similar technologies, similar advancements." Anna leaned forward, stunned by this revelation. "What was your response?" "We accepted," Premier Vox said simply. "The Centauri collective mind was already somewhat unified. The Guide influence merely enhanced existing tendencies." "But that would mean—" Anna's mind raced through the implications. "Yes, Captain. Your Earth has been caught between two species enhanced by the same benefactors. The Guides prefer not to interfere directly in conflicts between client species. They observe, they learn, they experiment with us," Anna said, unable to keep the bitterness from her voice. Premier Vox made a gesture Anna couldn't interpret. "Perhaps. Or perhaps they genuinely believe advancement comes through controlled evolution. The question now is what happens when two species reject that control in different ways." "You've broken free of their influence too?" Anna asked. "Not broken free, adapted to it, incorporated it while maintaining our essential nature." The premier's mandibles clicked rapidly, their version of a chuckle. "Your disruption wave reached us too, Captain. It forced us to confront certain inconsistencies in our development. We chose a middle path." As discussions continued over the next several days, Anna and her team discovered that the Centauri had indeed modified the Guide technology to suit their own purposes, maintaining their hive-like social structure while removing external control elements. The resulting civilization was still alien to human sensibilities, but no longer inherently hostile. A month later, the Defiance returned to Earth with a historic treaty, the first true alliance between humans and Centauri. More importantly, they brought confirmation that the Guides had been manipulating multiple species, possibly for millennia. It's still not clear what their ultimate goal is, Anna explained during her debriefing with Earth's newly formed Unified Defense Council. But we know they're still out there, watching how we use their technology, how we interact with the Centauri. A cosmic experiment, Director Porter mused. Or preparation for something bigger, Anna suggested. The Centauri discovered evidence that dozens of species have been elevated by the guides over millions of years. Some accept full integration, others partial enhancement. A few rejected entirely. Like humans, someone murmured. Exactly, and now we've begun forming alliances with other independent species. The guides may not have anticipated that outcome. The following years saw humanity expand outward at an unprecedented pace, using modified guide technology, but always with safeguards against external control. Each new system explored revealed more evidence of guide influence across the galaxy, and more potential allies among species who had chosen independence. 5 years after the destruction of the Horizon, Anna stood on the bridge of the exploration vessel Independence as it prepared to investigate an unusual signal from beyond the edge of known space. Initial analysis suggested it originated from the guides themselves, their first direct communication since humanity's rejection of their control. They're broadcasting on all frequencies, the communications officer reported. Message reads, "The test is complete. Phase 2 begins." Anna exchanged glances with her crew. Veterans of a battle fought not with weapons, but with the stubbornness that defined humanity at its core. "Well," she said with the hint of a smile, "let's show them what humanity can really do when we're at our best." As the Independence accelerated toward the unknown, carrying representatives of 3 formerly adversarial species working together in perfect chaotic harmony, Anna thought about how far they'd come. The guides had underestimated humanity's fierce attachment to its independence, its willingness to struggle rather than accept comfortable control. Humanity? Fuck yeah, she whispered to herself, an expression that had become something of a personal mantra. Then, louder, to her crew. "Let's go make first contact, on our terms." The stars stretched before them, a universe of possibilities opened by humanity's most defining characteristic, the stubborn refusal to be anything other than defiantly, gloriously human.